Hi, I'm Naomi Greaves, co-founder of Garage Gym Life, and today is my 30-day review on the Speediance VeloNix indoor cycling bike. I've gotten a chance to be able to test it out pretty regularly, about 3 times a week. And so here are the things that I have found that I've really enjoyed so far. I like the simple fact that the indoor training is already built in with the monitor. You have different classes that you can choose from that are free, but you are able to join their Wellness Plus membership as well, so that way you have the entire training library available to you. Some of my favorite coaches is Coach Jake as well as Coach Brandon. And so it definitely gives you some class options that are very motivating. And for me personally, I like to see where I rank for those that have already done the class. I try and get into the top 10, so that little competitiveness works really well for me. I also like the scenic rides that they offer. So if you ever want to see what it's like to do, like say Tour de France or the rides in Italy or in Spain, for the cycling races, you have those races already plugged in, so that way you could be able to ride along on the exact course for them. There are also the options for entertainment, and so it easily connects to some of your favorite streaming applications. So that could be Netflix, it could be Hulu, it can be Disney Plus, or YouTube, for example. You can actually be watching this on your Speediance bike. It's really, really nice, real simple. You just log in, and so if you want to catch up on any of your TV shows while you're cycling, you can do that, and it will still keep track of your training for you. Also for app connectivity for your sport apps, so like Strava or Swift, it does easily connect to that as well, so that way you can continue with or keep track of your training on those applications. For smart technology like your smartwatch, my Apple Watch connects to the Speediance VeloNix, but if you use a Garmin or any other smartwatch technology, it will connect to your VeloNix as well. Now, the big thing that was the big wow for me during Home Gym Con 2025, the first time I actually got a chance to see this piece of equipment was at the Speediance booth. And as soon as I got my hands on the handlebar and my hands touched this right here, which is the gear shift, that was what sold me. This bike actually mimics my outdoor cycling bike to a T. So whether I'm out on the open road or I'm training on the VeloNix, I am able to config my gear shifters to match exactly how my outdoor bike would be. So I can increase or I can decrease my intensity. It also lets me change when you are changing your what they call the bike chain for your intensity as well when you are pedaling. So which is really, really good. It also gives you that same option for plus or minus for your intensity or your gradients percentage at the stem of your handlebar as well. The handlebar is another thing that actually stood out to me as well, because you have 5 positions that you can choose from, whether it's your neutral grip either this way or natural, like if you were on your road bike. If you stand up, and in fact, let me just go ahead and get into the bike itself. So whether you're pedaling normal and just a neutral grip this way, or you're pedaling like as if you were on the road bike itself, or if you had to go ahead, like in some of the classes, like with Coach Jake, when you're going ahead and you're doing intervals and you're standing up, that's called third position here. But one of my favorite positions is for practicing to be aerodynamic in a triathlon tuck. And you have your aero bars that are located right here on your handlebars. So that way you can be locked in, tucked, and just be able to practice cycling in that tuck position. Now, the other features that I enjoy, again, focus on performance. So you have 2 types of training, which is your ARG mode or your FTP mode. With ARG mode, your bike actually does all the work for you. And what does that mean? So if I'm training in like a zone 2, or zone 3, like I need to make sure that I can stay steady pace. Doesn't matter how fast I'm pedaling or how slow I'm pedaling, whether to add more resistance or back off resistance, the bike itself will go ahead and adjust my intensity, so that way I'm staying in target for my training zone. That is how org mode works. Now, if I wanted to work based off of FTP, then here on the stem of the handlebars, you'll see this little light indicator. This has 8 different color changes to let you know where you are in regards to your performance peak. When it's a light blue or a dark blue, I mean, like that, that's the lowest. Then it goes to a light blue, and it'll go up in color changes from green to yellow to orange to the highest peak is bright red. Okay, so it lets you know where you are in regards to your training. So that's another way to be able to make sure that you're staying in range. The bike is nearly quiet because as you can hear, or nearly silent, I should say. It's really, really quiet. So if you have your bike located maybe in your apartment, you don't have to worry about disturbing family members that may be resting or your neighbors, um, because again, it's nearly quiet. Also, the other thing that's great about the bike is there are 2 outlet points to plug into. One in the front of your bike and actually one in the back of your bike. Found the back one by accident. But what does that mean is you don't have to worry about prime location of where you're going to place your bike in your home because you're concerned of how close it is to an outlet. It allows you to be able to have whatever flexibility for it to be moved to because you have 2 different options to be able to plug into. The bike does accommodate for family or friends. They may use the bike to up to a height of 7'2" and a weight limit of of up to 300 pounds. But I make sure that I have it set for me where I'm comfortable. Talking about comfort and also that this is a tool that I use, only thing I would say that I really changed out was the pedals. Because if you heard just a moment ago, I click in and I clip out. The pedals that came with the bike are great pedals, don't get me wrong. But I want again to be able to use this bike to be a tool to strengthen that muscle memory for when I'm out on the road. And one of the things that I am working to is have better confidence clicking in and clipping out of my bike. And the last thing you want to do is be uncertain of how to clip in and clip out when you're out on the open road, because what that means is you will topple over. But at least this is a safe space where I can practice that muscle memory of being able to click in and click out, come to a stop, be able to click out, and then when it's time for me to go ahead and start pedaling again, I can click back in. Also, it allows me to build my strength both in the push and the pull in the bike. So this actually is one of the most elite pieces of equipment I've been able to have in my own home gym when it comes down to indoor cycling. So if you're interested in trying to get your hands on the Speediance VeloNix indoor cycling bike and also join the community, check the link in the description below so that way you can be able to get your own delivered to your home and that way you can start your journey with VeloNix.